Hey guys, it's Angel. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a quick flight in the version 2, as yet unreleased, of the Simworks Studios Kodiak, the Kodiak 100. This is the 200 tyres and cargo pod variant in one of the new factory liveries. Now, this is a free update for those who own the Kodiak. Of course, there's also the amphibian coming out, which I already took a look at for you guys. This is the wheeled version, and I was going to fly with, you know, regular wind conditions today. Like the real world weather, but that was boring. It was like 3 knots. It was nothing. So we're going with the weather preset pros, gusty, because 24 knots feels much more fun. And we're going to a grass 1300 foot runway, so this should be absolutely fine. So again, similar sort of updates inside to the version we got from the float one. Exterior is the same for most of you who know that one. All the usual bells and whistles are here. So we're going to get ourselves operational and running here in no time at all, because no need to faff around. We've got a mountaintop airstrip to get to in Italy. Because we're using the NXI version of the G1000 in this, which is the features taken advantage of since Sim Update 10, which is cool. The flight model's had a whole rework to it. It's much more on the numbers now, much more accurate, better performing. So let's get ourselves ready to rock and roll. Now we're going to have a right crosswind on this takeoff, so we're going to keep our trim neutral here. I don't want to be messing around with weird trim. As we get ourselves up and operational, fuel pumps on, starter is on. Keep those where they need to be. Okay, we're spinning up here. Let's give it some motion lotion and off we go. Engine is coming online as expected. Let's get my head functioning here, shall we? There we go. All the usual bells and whistles we expect from this, including the engine wear and tear that they've built into this, so we have all those functions and features. Let's make sure we are set up. I'm going to turn this off for a second here because it's going to annoy me while I check our navigation data. Okay, where are we actually headed to? Oh, it's actually set and functioning for once on the NXI compared to the stock one, which is a good advantage there. Okay, it's clear out of that. We are good, set and tracked. Okay. So we're taking off on 2.6 today, which is, as I'm going to bring us down to, that's a caravan. Let's just stop the aircraft here for a second while I work out which lever is doing what. Why isn't this behaving? That's... oh, okay. I'm pulling the wrong lever. I'm just pulling it back very slowly here. Okay, that's about where we want it here. Okay, much more acceptable. Alright, we're going to get ourselves rolling out here to 2.6 and get ourselves on our way up to Casera Razzo, high in the Italian mountains. This one's about 5,500 feet up, so it's not the end of the world, but it's certainly going to be a little interesting. And it looks like the wind is shifting as well, based on the flags there, or the windsocks I should say. So we're going to keep our aileron down while we taxi here. This is probably going to be an interesting departure. I want to keep my trim neutral, because with pretty significant winds like this, I don't want to be kind of predicting things that I'm not expecting. Now, I got told by Alex, I believe, when I was first testing this aircraft, that I had to have 12.5% left trim on the rudder. Not right, but someone told me in the comments it's right trim. I still need to go and find out the correct answer for that one. But I know left trim worked. However, I'm going to leave this to behave itself as it wishes to for this, because I'd rather just see what she does with the wind. The wind provides a very unpredictable scenario to our circumstance here, one we definitely don't want to mess with. Looking good. Props and conditions are in the correct position. We have all necessary adjustments to flaps. We are configured for takeoff. Let's see how this goes. A little bit of right aileron in here. Just to compensate, and we'll have to give it a bit of left here. It's keeping relatively straight. Speed's good. Rotating off the runway now. A little bit of more aileron I think I needed there. It's a pretty straight out departure. We're sideways here, so let's give it some hefty rudder as we're drifting off our departure direction. Let's pull back that power real quick here so we're in the green. Let's get the flaps up here, and we are good to climb out. We'll start our turn in a moment and head up one of the valleys to our side. Heading south here, across the mountains. Okay, we'll straighten ourselves up here. So that appears to be the best option for us. Begin our turn there. Should mean we'll have a pretty raucous tailwind helping us a lot of the way here. Oh, look at our speed seesawing there with the wind. Okay, keep everything in the green. Getting shaken about a fair bit, so we'll see how this flight model feels. It does feel a lot more powerful. The Sim Update 8 version and 9 felt a lot more weak compared to what the Kodiak should be able to do, and this version does feel much more potent, more powerful. It'll rotate better. I wanted a bit more airspeed on my takeoff there. Jesus, behave. Before I actually... Oh, good God. Yeah, I wanted a little bit more airspeed before I rotated due to the crosswind. I wanted to be able to haul myself out of danger. Oh my God. This turbulence like crazy here. Let's watch our pitch. Catching mad turbulence in this valley. This is not me on the rudder, by the way. I need to not fight it as much as I want to. We're getting blown very much towards that face. We do not want that. Let's take ourselves more off to the right here. Getting blown into the terrain would not be an advantageous circumstance. Okay, all conditions looking good here. Speed's still pretty low. We are climbing though. Trying to get up to altitude we need for this. And I'm trying to combat the turbulent winds here. If anything, these winds are definitely making things a lot more interesting for practical testing purposes, because it gives us a much more strenuous... can anyone else smell the toast? Strenuous, I guess was the word I was looking for there. Strengthy is a good one too. Now I do know this valley feeds into another one further south, so we're not in a dead-end situation here. Hopefully we have enough time to climb a little bit higher. Get away from the turbulent conditions around here. Keeping ourselves more to the right of centre here, because I don't want to catch mad downdrafts on that side. And I don't want to get blown into that side. But the Italian mountains are stunning to fly in, I must say. The Austrian and Italian parts here of the Alps. Oh, hello, come on. It's definitely on the spicier end today. Last time I experienced something this, should we say, stomach churning was the, dear God, behave. The Sim's wind interpretation can be quite wild at times. But we're getting a good amount of turbulence here. Just for context, I'm not doing anything here. Where's the yoke? So you can make sure I'm definitely not doing anything. This is all happening on its own with the weather. Oh, little lake down below us. Let's try and get a little bit more altitude with what we're doing here. Still pretty low on speed with the climb, so I don't want to push it too hard. Keep about 1,000 feet a minute here. Jesus. I might actually put some right rudder trim in here, because we're needing to keep a decent amount of right rudder to counteract these conditions. This is like riding a Falcon 9. Yeehaw! How are we doing here? Oh, there's white caps down there. Okay, let's haul around this side here. And we'll try and catch an elevator on some of this ridge line ahead of us. The direction the wind's coming in from, we should be able to take advantage of that.
Stall.
Please no. Please no Stollerino, por favor. Yeah, this is dramatically sharper than I expected. When I went for gusty conditions, it was telling me a nice number, but the gusts apparently very, very real. That's what we're talking about. Look at that lift. Oh yeah. Now it's a bit smoother on this side. We can actually take advantage of this and ride it up. 1,200 feet a minute.
Stall.
Yes. Which means I might be able to clear some of this. This is looking a little bit tenuous, actually. This is looking extremely tenuous. What's my airspeed doing? No, we are noping out of this.
Stall. 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 Stall.
Yes, I'm aware. Thank you, simulator.
Stall.
Let me try and catch some ridge lift and clear out of this. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. The fact I'm on the actual the upwind side of the valley actually saved my ass there in no uncertain terms. That was a ride into the cliff face, but the updrafts saved me. I'll try and circle around here. This is extremely choppy conditions, and I probably wouldn't fly in the mountains in this weather if this were real life. But look at the lift we gained from that. Oh my gosh. Look at the lift we gained from that. Please behave. You know what? I'm just going to go around to the right here.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Oh, we're going to catch this horrible downdrafts. No.
Stall.
We're going to have to go over that side. We're not going to make it across that pass.
Stall.
Keep the nose down, please.
Stall.
Nose down.
Stall.
Nose down.
Stall.
This is very dangerous. If this was real, this would be extremely dangerous, but it's not real, thankfully. Okay, so we gain altitude on this side of the valley. We're seriously losing it on that side, which is a problem as we have to go that way to turn around in this direction, so I'm going to try and use this here to lift me up. Look at the gains. Oh, look at the gains, 2,000 feet a minute. Oh, elevator's definitely engaged. Gotta watch we don't get blown into this stuff, though. Oh, this is definitely the express elevator up. This is like being on a Falcon 9. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hop across this glacier, which should give me untold amounts of altitude, with the wind lifting us up and over. And this actually takes us closer to our direct actual flight path. But you see the dramatic difference the winds make there between the downdraft and the updraft on the different sides of that valley. And having to turn around put you in a direct conflict with both of them, really. But we got super altitude there. We're up at 10,000 feet here. So that's 5,000 feet gained in there. We'll go around the outside of this horn. I'm not feeling quite as dramatic as I want to be today. Prepare for us to catch some downdraft on this side. What's the clearance level looking like? We've got good altitude clearance. Okay, we'll swing around here. Oh, this, I'm having to fight the plane a lot here. Come on, behave yourself. I would encourage people to, because this is an actual weather preset, I would encourage people to try this. The Weather Preset Pro Gusty. Flight from Lima Oscar Whiskey Zulu to the add-on, which I'll include in the description. Lima India Delta 1, Casera Razzo. Holy moly. Okay, we're on course here. We've got some cloud up ahead. And clear skies. No valleys to worry about. Just clear skies. Okay, this is good. Above the snow line here. This is more than I expected. Am I on course? I'm wildly off course. I'm trying to work out which direction I'm meant to be going in. Because apparently it's very confusing. Oh no, that direction. Nose down, come on.
Stall.
This is the correct direction, isn't it? I'm almost positive. I think it is. I'm terrified regardless. Yeah, this should be the right direction. We're heading south. Okay. Good God. There are some flights that make me sweat, and there are some flights that genuinely make me sweat, and this is one of those. Okay. Easy does it. Easy does it. Girl, come on. This is extreme. I often find some of these presets wildly inappropriate in terms of how the winds should behave aloft. But it's making for a very interesting experience.
Stall.
Nah, that's what's called catching a downdraft is called. Oh, good God. We're going into this stuff. Unless we
Stall.
pull up significantly here. No, come on, engine, don't do that to me. Okay, we're clear of that. There we go. Let's pull the power back slightly here. Maintain our course. This landing is going to be wild. That's for sure. 1,300 feet of grass pass atop a mountain. I'm going to have a horrible day. Okay. Okay, this is on course. If we can call any of this a course. Okay, okay. We're good. 10 minutes out. 10 minutes I definitely want to get over as soon as possible. Sim performance of the version 2, let's call it, of the Kodiak is fantastic. I have absolutely no issues whatsoever. It performs like a dream. Obviously we know that Sim Update 10 allowed the backup instrument to work without causing any issues, so this and the RV14 are now two phenomenally performing aircraft, I will say. And I absolutely enjoy how they work. Dear gosh. Could this be any more violent? Feels like being in an MMA match with Brock Lesnar before he went to WWE. Okay, so we need to come more around to our port side. There we go. That's the ticket. Keep an eye on the ridge ahead of me. We've got a good clear valley ahead of us though, so we shouldn't be too worried about losing altitude. Extremely windy, I think is the best way to describe this. We're back at 180 knots right now with these winds. I'm thinking it's a little faster than 24 knots. This feels a lot faster than 24 knots. Look, it's some countryside moving a lot. There we go. We'll be able to actually get onto our track in a moment. Pitch. Oh, good God. Pitch up before crossing this. This is insane. This is a lot windier than I've had in the past at the sim. The Beach 18 didn't feel this bad. Well, it was pretty bad, but it didn't feel this crazy. Behave yourself. Yeah, no, the Beach 18 felt bad, but not this bad. Okay. You know, this feels like some hobo version of a wrestling cage match. What do we call it? The AIDS in the cage match with nails? Feral cats? Possibly hypodermic syringes. We'll go for that. Okay, this definitely feels irregular, I think is the best way to describe it. Dear God. Yeah, these winds at about 9,000 feet are ridiculously aggressive. My engine's sounding odd. Come on. Let's just fly over the ridge. Be good. We're still relatively on course. We aren't dead yet, so there's hope for us. Absolutely insane. I feel like I've talked about this more than I have the actual aircraft so far. I haven't got full details from Simworks Studios yet in regards to this. However, as I mentioned, the same engine modelling is now present on this, so that after a certain number of flight hours in the 3600 range, you will need to, it will obviously with a restart after the save flight, we'll update that, but it does offer an element of wear and tear. And depending on how you treat the aircraft and the engine, that can happen. You can hot start, you can catch the engine on fire. So that's an actual realistic factor. And the flight modelling, from what little I have seen of it, is saving my life right now, because this would not, the original Kodiak would not have survived this. Okay, let's just try and keep a straight and true heading. Should we come over to the left a little bit without pitching up too much? There we are. We've passed into Italy at this point. And we look to have one last big range to clear over. Yeah, we're pulling 190 nearly. The winds are right up our backside, which it's not a big fan of. This should clear us over this range without much trouble. We're just going to be in a little bit of a hole when we try to go past the other side. The scenery is, though, however, beautiful. Europe and the Alps definitely are stunning. This is the two hands on the yoke job, I swear. I'm trying to keep my power relatively constant here. We're on the higher end of the power, and I'm a little bit aware of that. But I need enough engine input to actually save me from this. Okay, we're clearing over some of this. We should be coming up on our airport in relatively short time. It's a beautiful little strip, actually, in the Italian mountains. I believe it's based on a real one, but it's a fictional code for it. Definitely a fun little spot. Calm down. That's it. Just fly normally. You know, I thought I was going to re-record this video, at least at 2 points during that, and turn the weather down. But we've made it this far, so we're going to attempt the landing. And whatever happens to me in the landing, you will see. Because at this point, we've done this much video, I am going to absolutely have to try and land this thing. Wish me luck. Lots of luck. I'm in danger. Okay, we'll try and stay below the cloud layer and above the ridgeline here. Which might be more difficult than I imagine. Cloud layer is almost at the top of that peak to my left of my nose. Well, wherever the left of my nose likes to stay, that is. With the wind on our back, we should have no issue clearing the terrain. So far, the aircraft has behaved very well. I can definitely feel the performance and power I have from it. It's a little testing at times, but it's definitely responsive. A lot of the initial behaviours that it had when it first came out have been scaled back to more realistic levels. It was extremely likely to roll in on takeoff with some of the torque it had. Okay, we're good here. So it shouldn't be too far ahead. I know we have to come down a relatively narrow valley to get there, so we have to overfly and come back in to get ourselves a decent headwind for this. That turn could be problematic because we'll be coming in basically across a downdraft. which worries me more than anything else. So we have to turn into the headwind in a valley with a downdraft. I didn't think this through in the slightest, did I? Not even close. But that's why you're still watching. You want to see me turn into a piece of paste on the side of a mountain. And like I said, even if I do, even if I don't, you will still see this at the end of the video. Whatever happens, you'll see it. So, place your bets now. In fact, pause the video, go comment. Am I going to die? Please comment. Tell me whether I'm going to die or not during this. Because I'm pretty sure I'm about to. Those who are about to die, we salute you. Now I'll get tossed into the gladiator pit, which is appropriate as we're in Italy. The whole... I'm thinking that's a likely bet at this stage of the event. It's a good job I haven't got the coffee cup right now because it'd be on the ceiling. Okay. That might be us up ahead. I think that's us up ahead, right there. I think that's where we're heading to. There could be hope for us yet. Oh. I remember testing the steerman that came out here. That seemed like such a bright idea at 5,000 feet. It doesn't anymore. Yeah, that's us over there. Okay. Let's make this joke work, shall we? That is very rocky. I'm going to be pasted all over that beautiful alpine meadow just ahead of us in a few moments' time. Or the valley leading up to it. Either way, mountain rescue's coming to get me because I ain't taking off from here. That is if we still have wheels attached. But I am down for the challenge as always. This will test my turboprop bush flying, I think. Good God. We have runways 30 and 12 to deal with here. So our runway is going that way. And our wind is at 305. So we'll get an absolute direct headwind for this landing. Okay, we are going to be going crosswind here before we turn downwind, a long downwind. Right. Now appears to be the time to turn. Please let me turn. Wind. Okay, let me roll out of this. Yep, that's where we're landing. Down there. It's kind of beautiful. In fact, it's very beautiful. Absolutely stunning, in fact. We're picking up speed here with the tailwind. So we'll head down to this peak ahead of us. We'll turn around where it's nice and wide here. And then we'll get ourselves set up. The runway is basically just behind that pond. So we're going to have to play this by ear. And it's a rising kind of hillside leading up to, or rising mountainside and valley leading up to the runway. Right on the pass. More power, please. I'm going to need it. Bella Italia. Okay. Here goes nothing. You know what? There will definitely be a go around if I'm able to try and survive it. If I need to. Okay. Props. Full fine. Power's back. Let's get some of that beautiful, beautiful headwind. There we are. Turn a little bit more. It does not want to turn into this wind at all. This is definitely stronger than 24 knots. There we go. It's going to be deceptively high up compared to our current altitude here. So power's back. A little bit more power. A little bit of flaps. I may have to actually go around here, depending on how quickly I can spot the runway and touch down. Shouldn't have to count for a lot of crosswind with this being straight on, but it's gusting still. And we're sinking. Okay, where are we? No, power. Power. Power, you son of a gun. Let's go. Whoa! Yeah, that's a big rock. If I wasn't sitting down, I'd need to sit down. So that's where we stopped, which is basically the very end of the runway. And this is basically the runway. This swath of hillside. From about that rock there, we touched down maybe about here, and we came all the way down here, and we were about to eat boulder. That one. So we maybe end up slightly off the runway, but we didn't hit anything rocky, and we actually touched down incredibly gently. But look at this. This is stunning. Beautiful rocks, beautiful logs, little villa, farm, beautiful meadow. Are these rocks? I thought those were sheep when I first came past. They are rock sheep. Never mind. Thought they were sheep. They're not. They're just rocks. Well, Italy, we have arrived. I didn't need to do a go-around. My underwear's still in one piece. And, let's just taxi to the parking area before we shut down here. Because I need to go for a very, very stiff glass of beautiful Italian red. Sometimes the trick is commitment. In this case, it's the fact I just about knew where the runway is. And was aware it was kind of positioned next to the rock pile at the start, but it's downhill, but there's no way I was landing the other direction today. The headwind was enough to save us, and that 152 is incredibly brave. There we go. Power down. I forgot to turn my starter and ignition off during the entire flight, didn't I? I was so worried about the weather I forgot to actually turn those off. So I probably bothered the engine the entire trip along here, but either way, we survived. We are in Italy, no longer in Austria, and those of you who commented that I was going to die, I proved you wrong. Nah. Those of you who had faith in me, yeah, love you guys. I love this thing. This is the Kodiak has reached peak performance for me. That it responds how I want it to. It behaves the way I'd expect it to as an aircraft. It's a fun, predictable, go anywhere turboprop with this and the amphibian. It's a great plane, and it's quick. It's even making me like glass too. Thanks for watching. Arrivederci.